What's up, Lorehounds? It's Cooper here in the SOE booth. We're actually here with Jimmy Whisenhunt checking out H1Z1, so zombie survival open world. You don't think we're just going to murder everybody?
No, I know you are, but we're gonna make it a really bad time, and then you're gonna go, maybe I should be friends with some people.
I still don't think anyone's going to get that.
Well, I actually, I don't know how many times today I've had a new player from the showroom floor kill me.
First instinct.
You know, it's first instinct. The good news is about it, though, is we're trying to leverage the world to keep that on the low. We don't want to stop it because that is a lot of fun. I do it, sorry, but I mean, it is kind of annoying.
So in all seriousness, so this is a zombie survival game. It's open world. Right now the map is pretty tight because you guys are still in pre-alpha, right?
Yeah, we're in pre-alpha right now. So this was something that goes way, way back. It's actually untraceable back to the medieval ages. It's a disease, not supernatural zombies, not the hand out of the grave type things, but it goes back to the island of Paveglia. We actually did a 2.5 hour long lore event on Twitch TV of survivors, and it's actually really exciting. Them telling different accounts from different characters' perspectives on how all this went down. So check that out. It's very long, and if you like the lore, check it out.
I mean, that's like the length of a movie.
Yeah, no, we're not going to throw it in your face in the middle of the game. It's about telling your own story and being who you want to be, but we do tell a story of how the world fell apart.
So what ends up being the drive for the game? Open world and crafting and stuff is just a drive for a lot of people, but is there anything out there for the lore junkies?
From the SOE standpoint where we've released it outside of the game, yeah, we put it out there, but inside the game, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a more create your own story, create your own adventure, living world. But you're actually going to be multiple servers, right? It's not just one single persistent world?
Correct. So every server is persistent in the way that your character stays there. If you try to go to another server, you create a new one and a new name. You don't take your things with you. Okay. Just think about like our other MMORPGs.
What do we have as far as the general game system? Again, it is very early. We just checked out the demo. We saw some combat. We saw a little bit of crafting. We saw that you can pretty much cut down the world and use it as you need. What else are we looking to do, or did we not actually get a chance to see yet?
So we didn't get a chance to see a lot of the improvisational weapons. So early on in the game, you start with basically nothing, and if you find the right tools, chop down a tree, you can move into the path of making the bow, which you get to see a little bit. But also there's a spear in there, it's melee, and you can throw that sort of thing. As far as stamped real weapons, they're in the world as well. I mean, we have a 308 hunting rifle, shotguns, assault rifles. You can't make those, nor can you make the ammo. Those are all about scavenging. So early game is going to be a lot about making sure that you're safe with your melee weapons and your kind of, early weird bows that might break easy to find your way to better gear.
And really that's the drive, right? Because you actually lose all that stuff on death. It's a fairly heavy death penalty. What do you end up keeping?
So our game uses a discovery system. So everything you craft in the game, you have to learn through experimentation. And there's actually a window in there where you can click on items and try to combine them together to learn crafting recipes. Once you do that and you find one, it goes to a list. When you die, you keep that list. Otherwise, every time you die, you'd be spending hours trying to figure out how to make that thing again.
Talk about grindy.
Yeah, that'd be really grindy.
Is there any social awareness? We had obviously everyone killing everyone at first instinct, but is there a reason that players would actually try and coalesce into, a town like Walking Dead had, or something along those lines, a social reason for this apocalypse?
Well, I think, we saw an interaction I had earlier where it was a very, it was an awkward combat situation because neither one of us were very well geared. So I think a lot of times, because there's proximity voice chat, if I had my mic, I would have been yelling, dude, this is pointless, this is taking forever, like, can we just help each other? And that's actually a lot of the fun, is those interactions where you may go out to kill each other, but eventually you may decide to be friends, and that's where communities will start growing from. Outside of the fact that we have a lot of pretty hardcore SOE fans and survival fans in general that'll come in with groups of 40 and just create the craziest towns. They'll name them ridiculous things. They'll decide that they're going to go to war with this town over here, and then the world will burn. And that's actually really scary, but really awesome at the same time.
It is scary because, you let the gamer out in an open world like this, and half the time the first thing we do is how do we make it horrible for everybody else, right? Like, how do you guys balance the freedom of the open world versus just not ruining the game?
So I'm one of the guys that will play by myself a lot, and something I put a lot of thought into, because if I run into 30 guys who are just like combing the forest for life and ending it, I might have an issue with that. But the good news is the larger group you are, the more attention you're grabbing from players and from zombies, wildlife. Everything in the world is actually trying to kill you outside of deer and rabbits. They might not. But I
don't know. There's some crazy rabbits.
I've seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah, so the more you're building, the more you're shooting, the more you're stomping around, you're pulling in more zombies to you. So it's more of a challenge in the world. That's one thing that we're really focusing on, is making sure that it's not all about players killing you. It's the world itself has actually fallen apart, and there's a good reason for it.
And so we have a lot of those living systems. I mean, we saw a deer frolicking in the forest, and then a wolf came out, and they all scattered and ran away, and that poor one deer kind of bit it. But we also saw bears.
Yes, I punched one in the butt, I think, and I got killed. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a good move. Yeah, he should have just stolen his honey and ran away. But when can we actually, we're pre-alpha. It's very early. When do we feel like a beta will come around and we'll be able to actually, get our hands on it and sink our teeth in?
Well, I mean, here at Sony, this will be the earliest we've released a game at Sony Online Entertainment, and it's scary as a designer because it's our baby, and we're like, no, it's not finished. But it's really exciting because it's so hard to produce a true sandbox experience without having player data and expectation. And we honestly have no idea what you crazy people are going to do. And day one, week 2 of early access, it's about us seeing what players are doing. And honestly, that's still an alpha state. And it's a much more stable version than you may expect when hearing alpha. We're trying to set the quality bar high. I mean, we are SOE. We want to show that we really are serious about this genre, and we intend to, put out a AAA quality survival game.
All right, so H1Z1, we still really don't have any idea when it's going to come out, but early access is around. So, Lorehounds, if you want to, punch me and murder me at your first instinct, you're going to be able to do so fairly soon. So, thanks so much.
Hey, thank you.